Today we will discuss entropy and its change. But before starting a discussion of entropy, first we will introduce some terms which are going to help for the discussion of entropy. Okay, so first heading is spontaneous process. Okay, students, so the processes which can take place either of its own or under some initiation is called spontaneous reactions or spontaneous process. Okay, so these are the processes or reaction which are self-governed. Okay, so such processes are known as spontaneous process. Now, some facts regarding spontaneous processes. According to second point, if a reaction is spontaneous, it does not mean that reaction is taking place immediately or at once. Spontaneity does not describe the rate of reaction. Okay, a spontaneous process means it is feasible or possible. So the processes which are feasible or possible their own are known as spontaneous process. According to third point, a spontaneous process may be fast or slow. Okay, a spontaneous process has an urge or a natural tendency to occur, and that is why they are occurring their own, either of its own or under some initiation. So such processes are actually known as a spontaneous process. So opposite of this term, non-spontaneous process. So these are the processes which has no urge or natural tendency to occur, is called non-spontaneous processes or reactions. Okay, students, for example, diffusion of a gas from low pressure to higher pressure is not possible naturally. Okay, so such type of change cannot take place in their own. Okay, it will require some assistance from outside. Okay, students, so such processes are known as non-spontaneous process. Next heading is driving force for a spontaneous process. So according to the definition, the force which is responsible for the spontaneity of a process is called driving force. Okay, so according to this definition, that spontaneous process are having some driving force, which that force is going to help for the spontaneous process. Okay, now which type of driving force are responsible for spontaneous processes? And according to the first, tendency to acquire minimum energy. So according to this point, the processes which are spontaneous in nature, in such processes the change is always from high energy state to low energy state. So the processes or the reactions in which such condition is present means the process or the reaction as higher condition, and from this condition, higher energy condition, it can move naturally towards the lower energy condition. So such processes will be spontaneous. Okay, so any such system or process or a reaction which is at the condition of higher energy, so it can naturally move from higher energy condition to lower energy condition in the form of spontaneous process. Okay, because in this way it will acquire minimum energy. Okay, students. So for example, as we all know that heat flows from hot body to a cold body, and according to next point, water flows down a hill to have minimum potential energy. So these are the example of spontaneous processes in which the change in the process from higher energy state to lower energy state. Okay, students. Then second driving force which is responsible for the spontaneity of a process is that tendency to have maximum randomness or disorder. Okay, so any system or the process or the reaction in which the initial state is changing from less random condition to more random condition, so this change will be spontaneous. This change will be spontaneous. Okay, students. So these two points, these two requirements, first, tendency to acquire minimum energy, and second, tendency to have maximum randomness or disorder. These two changes are responsible for the spontaneity of a process. Okay, students. So out of these two, not a single, instead of both these points are required for the spontaneity of a process. Next heading is thermodynamic representation of randomness or entropy. So randomness, entropy. Definition: entropy is a measure of randomness or disorder of the system. Greater the disorder, higher is the entropy. So the measure of randomness is known as entropy, and entropy is represented with the help of S symbol. Okay, students. So entropy S. So entropy is the measure of randomness of a system. Now some facts about the entropy. According to first point, in crystalline solid, atoms or ions are very well arranged. The crystalline state is the state of lower entropy. But from this state, when it is changed in the form of liquid, so the distance between the particle is increased, and also particles become free, a little bit free, or you can say a little bit particles are comparatively free from the initial state, from the solid state. So from the solid, in this state, liquid state, randomness of the system increased. Okay, and due to the increase in randomness, entropy in liquid state will be more than the solid state of the substance. Okay, and after that, this liquid state is converted in the form of gaseous state. Okay, and you all know that in gaseous state, atoms or particles are totally free from each other. Okay, and that is why in this condition, randomness in the system will be maximum, and that is why entropy will be maximum in this state. Okay, students. So according to the point number 5th, molecules or particles have greater freedom to move in vapor state or gaseous state. So entropy increases in the order. This is the order. So according to this order, gaseous system will have maximum entropy due to the maximum randomness. Okay, students. Then according to 8th point, entropy increases with increase in temperature. And this we all know that with the increase in temperature, the binding forces which are present between the particles will become less and less and less, and that is why particles are going in a free state. So randomness will increase, and that is why entropy will also increase, as you can see in the conversion of from solid to gaseous state. In solid state, particles are having maximum binding force between them, so randomness is least and entropy is also least. But in gaseous state, force of binding of the particles is least, and that is why randomness is highest and entropy is also highest. Okay, students. Then next heading is entropy change. Entropy change is represented with delta S. So it is equal to the heat absorbed isothermally and reversibly divided by the temperature at which heat is absorbed. Okay, students. So delta S will be equals to Q in reversible process divided by T, and the unit of entropy is joule per Kelvin or joule per Kelvin per mole. Joule per Kelvin per mole, or in the short form joule per Kelvin per mole. Okay, next point is entropy is a state function. So entropy is not depend on the path of the change. Okay, it is a state function, so it's just depend upon the initial and final state of the system, not on the path of the change. Then point 12, for a cyclic process, change in entropy is zero, because initial and final state will be same, so there will be no change in entropy. And the last point, entropy change in an adiabatic expansion is zero, because change in heat will be equals to zero, and such processes are called isoentropic. Processes with same entropy, isoentropic. Okay, students. Then second law of thermodynamics. So there are number of definitions for second law of thermodynamics, and according to this first definition, heat can not flow itself from a colder body to a hotter body without the intervention of external work. Okay, and finally we can say that the energy of the universe is constant, while the entropy of the universe is increasing continuously and tends to a maximum. So nowadays energy of the universe is constant, means not increasing, but randomness in the universe is increasing day by day, and it tends to a maximum. Okay, students. So overall energy of universe is constant, but entropy is changing and it is increasing day by day. Okay, then next, Gibbs free energy and spontaneity. So for a process or a system or a reaction to be spontaneous, this is the next term, Gibbs free energy, on the basis of which we can explain spontaneity of a reaction or a process. So definition of Gibbs energy: it is a measure of the capacity of a system to do maximum useful work, and Gibbs energy is represented by G. So decrease in Gibbs free energy is equal to the useful work done by the system during the process. Okay, so if Gibbs energy is decreasing in any process, means the process will be spontaneous. Process will be spontaneous, and the decrease in Gibbs energy will give the amount of useful work, okay, done by the process or the system. So Gibbs energy is a state function and is an extensive property. Gibbs free energy is denoted by G and given by the equation G equals to H minus Ts. And this reaction or relation we can modify in the following way here, where delta G is change in Gibbs energy, delta H is change in enthalpy, T is temperature, and delta S is change in entropy. So this relation is known as Gibbs-Helmholtz equation, or simply Gibbs equation. Okay, so in this equation, change in Gibbs free energy, change in enthalpy, temperature, and change in entropy, these all the terms are used here. Okay, so delta G is a measure of the spontaneity of a chemical reaction. T delta S equals to energy which is not available to do useful work, whereas delta G is net energy available to do useful work. So if the value of delta G will be negative, so such processes or systems which are having delta G with minus sign will be spontaneous. Okay, students. So delta G will be equals to minus W maximum, or we can say that minus delta G will be equals to W maximum. Okay, so minus or negative value of delta G is the measure of spontaneity of a system. Okay, students. Now we can predict spontaneity from delta G. As you can see here, if delta G is negative, then the process will be spontaneous. So in this condition, delta H may be positive or negative, and delta S may be positive or negative. But for a spontaneous process, delta G should be a negative. Okay, so according to first condition, if delta G is negative, means less than 0, the process is spontaneous. If delta G is 0, the process is in equilibrium state. And if delta G is positive, means the value of delta G is greater than 0, then the direct process is non-spontaneous, but the reverse process may be spontaneous. Okay, students. The next is some facts about Gibbs-Helmholtz equation. First point, most favorable condition for a spontaneous reaction is that delta H should be negative and delta S should be positive. Second point, An endothermic reaction in which delta H will be positive can be spontaneous only if its delta S is positive. So delta H is change in enthalpy and delta S is change in entropy. So there should be increase in entropy, and in that condition T delta S will be greater than delta H. Okay, and for endothermic spontaneous reaction delta S can never be negative. In an exothermic spontaneous reaction, the entropy of the system may increase or decrease. Means delta S may be positive or negative, but delta G should be negative only. Okay students, thank you.